Hey YouTube, it's your beekeeper here. This is going to be a follow-up video to the uh, previous video preparing to sustain electricity, and I really like the feedback I got on that original video. I like the comments and discussions that it generated. I love my comments. Any comment that I get, I think that's pretty cool. So I respond to the comments and let you know that I respond to the comments. Couple things that came out of that too was I got some personal messages. I got about a dozen PMs on that video, and the majority of those private messages or personal messages were pretty hostile, which and rude. You know, which I thought is interesting that you didn't have the nads to leave a comment where everybody could see what a douchebag you're being. You got to private message me, and when I say that, pretty much a general theme behind the personal messages were, you're an idiot, you don't know what you're talking about. The little generators are very expensive. Why would you spend all that money on a little generator when you can have a big generator? And the whole purpose of that original video was just to kind of give you an idea, just give you something to think outside of the box. You know, just think outside of the box. The last time I lost power was 4.5 years ago. It was a large wildland fire in our area, and we were out of electricity for 8 days. And if I had to run that big that 8,000 watt generator for 8 days straight, granted you're not running it every minute, 24 hours a day, but if I had to run that big monster generator the whole time, that just, oh my God, think of the gas you'd burn through. That's got a 6.5 gallon tank on it, and you probably at 50% capacity, that's probably 6 or 7 hours worth of electricity, versus that little Yamaha I told you about. At 50%, I can get almost 8 hours of electricity out of 2 liters or a half gallon of gas. So you multiply that between 7, 8, 9 days. I think we were 8 days without electricity. It adds up. Gas is what gas is. So anyhow, but I digress. I get all these. Not all these. I got several personal messages that called me an idiot, that I don't know what I'm talking about. And two things on that. First of all, I kind of took that as a challenge. Challenge accepted. To find another affordable generator in today's day and age. Granted, I bought that Yamaha, I don't know, what did I tell you? Oh boy, it's been a long time. 10, 15 years ago, I forget. But I bought that new because that's where I was at the time. I wanted to buy a new one. But I figured I was looking for something used. Now, when I talk about the sustainable energy and these little guys here, if you're looking for something that's inverted, that you're going to pay $1,500 or $2,000 for, one of the real nice Hondas, and that you can afford that, that's fantastic. But quite honestly, in my case, I'm looking to run a couple wood stoves. 1 or 2 wood stoves if it's up in the country. If it's down here in my city house, I've got 1 wood stove that I need to run, and a couple lights. So in my one here in the city, the 600 watt generator works perfect. I could run a couple lights, I could run my wood stove. Everybody's warm and happy and able to turn a switch to turn on a light and not carry candles around the house, which has a whole nother realm of safety involved with that. So the challenge to me was to find a generator at an affordable price, and I'm not talking about a brand new one. And I mentioned to a couple people that talked in my comments where you could find brand new ones that are good electricity, not as clean as you would run super sensitive electronic equipment. But if you're charging a cell phone, if you're running a wood stove or a couple light bulbs, if you're charging a laptop battery, I wouldn't run a computer probably directly on any of these old ones, just because there are slight variations in the voltage, but you can certainly charge a battery because the batteries are more tolerant to variations in voltages. Challenge accepted, right? So I went on Craigslist for the last 5 or 6 days. Just in the morning before I leave for work, I do a quick search for generators, and I didn't want to pay more than $100 for a generator to see what I could find. Well, I found a name brand generator right here. I think it was day 4 I found this thing. It's got a build date of April of 1984, so it's almost 30 years old. I bought it from the original owner, who had the owner's manual. It's a Kawasaki FA76 is the model number. 1,000 watts, right? It's got 210 volt plugs. It's got a 10 amp 12 volt plug. What's this thing rated at? Like 6.5 amps, something like that. Yeah, 6.5 amps. There it is. So it's 800 watts continuous. It's a 1,000 watt surge, but it'll run 1,000 watts. When I bought it, I put a whole hog drill and I put a sawzall, and I was cutting wood with a sawzall, and the guy I bought it from was drilling a hole with a whole hog drill, and it did it. He was asking $100 for it. I offered him $75, and he took it. So I got a 1,000 watt generator for $75. Came with a full tank of gas. That's 2 liters of gas right there, and he had just changed the oil. So it's got fresh oil, full tank of gas, 1,000 watts, 12 volts, 10 amp battery charger. Name brand, right? Name brand. 4-stroke. Not real quiet. Not as quiet as the Yamaha, but I could change that. I could put a different muffler on it if I really wanted to get nutty. But turn the switch on. Give it a little choke. Kind of a cold-blooded pig. Let it run on choke for a sec. So there you go, $75 generator. What am I going to do with a second small generator? I don't know. What am I going to do with 4 tractors? I don't know. I'll probably bring this up at the country house. Leave it up at the ranch. I've got a couple 2,500 watt generators up there, but I'll maybe leave this one up there because it's kind of handy, I guess. I don't know. So that's that. So you can leave a comment if you like. If you don't like what I have to say, well then that's okay too. Won't hurt my feelings at all. Kawasaki FA76, $75. Thanks for watching.